So this video is not clickbait. This is legitimate. I'm not clickbaiting like some other YouTubers like to do. Josh here, you might remember his Laurel from the last video. He did end up selling that because he just wanted a good, reliable daily driver, and well, here you go, good, reliable daily driver. This is a 2007 Camry Hybrid. As you can see, exterior wise and even interior wise, I'm gonna be careful here because we have it jacked up, it is in beautiful condition. It has 191,000 miles, but he was scammed when he bought it.
Went to go check out the car, you know, everything's good, everything's fine. It looks good. Under the hood, everything runs right. No major warning signs. Made sure to check pretty much everything like you should when you're buying a used car. And so I get home, turn it off, everything's still good. I go drive to the store, and all the warning lights like check engine light, the brake light, the warning light, the check hybrid battery, all that good stuff comes on, all the expensive stuff. And so came to the conclusion the guy reset the computer in the car, and didn't even really think about that happening, to be honest, because I never thought that I would be that stupid to fall for it.
Yeah, so basically what the guy did is there was all the lights that were on the check engine light, all those lights, and what the guy did is he just took an OBD2 scanner to it and reset all the codes, so that way it looks like it's brand new. And those codes won't come back on unless you A, fix the problem, or B, you drive 15 or 30 miles until the computers do their check and realize there's something wrong again. So basically he test drove it, nothing came back on. He drove it back home, nothing came back on, and then he went to drive it to the store, and then that's when the computers realized that shit was wrong. So this is a hybrid, so it has the electric batteries. These need to be replaced. So this one at 191,000 miles, it needs to be replaced pretty much around now, maybe a little bit after this, or it needed to be replaced before this. So this is a fairly expensive fix. If you did take it to a dealer, this would probably be what, like $2 or $3 grand to fix?
The battery itself costs $4 grand.
Oh, okay.
And then the labor would probably be, I don't know, 500 to 1,000.
So it's more than what he paid for the car. So he paid what, $3,600 for this?
Yeah.
And according to Kelley Blue Book, this is worth, in its condition, assuming that there was nothing wrong with it, which at the time he thought there was nothing wrong with it, it would have been worth about $5,500 or $6 grand, which, I mean, that's a pretty good deal. So I'm the one who actually sent him this car to go look at, and unfortunately
we got screwed.
Yeah, he got screwed. So what we're doing now is actually not related at all to this. What we're doing is we're just going to change the oil. So if you look at the oil here, I'll wipe it off and put it back in. He said when he checked it, it was completely fine, but then I came by later last night and checked it, and it was, as you can see, there's barely anything on the dipstick. It should be between those two little dots, but it is not even halfway to that first dot. So the oil is very low. It probably needs to be changed anyways. And then the coolant, I checked the coolant too, and there was literally zero coolant in the car. So I don't know how it didn't overheat, but there was zero coolant in the car. So we put distilled water in it, and now we're gonna try and flush that and just fill it with actual coolant. We're gonna try and find a cheaper option for replacing the batteries if we need to do that. But like I said, this is a good deal for this price. I mean, it's in very, very nice condition. I mean, the only thing I really notice is this right here, but even that's pretty minor.
To start spurting everywhere.
Squirt on.
Yeah, I want it.
So we had to take off part of the fender liner so that way we could get to the oil filter. And now it's like I finally got it with the clamp things, but I loosened it a little bit too much, so we spilled a little bit of oil on the ground. So now we're trying to clean that up, and then we're gonna loosen it the rest of the way. All right, so here's the drain plug right in here. I'm scared that I'm gonna get it all over my arm, which I really don't want to do. Yeah, I think this is just gonna make a little bit of a splash. Oh, yeah, It's thick. So here's the old one. Now we're gonna screw the new one back on and then fill it up with some oil. So we're gonna put just a tiny bit of oil, okay, in here, just so that way it's lubed up. Okay, and then I'll just...
Yeah, and then just rub around it.
Just gonna rub it around to lube it up nice and good. So now we're gonna screw it back on and hopefully not spill a bunch of crap. So we're just gonna try and pour. The oil capacity is what, between 4 and 5 quarts? You said, how much is it?
Something like that, yeah.
So we're just gonna, this is 5 quarts. We're just gonna pour pretty much all of this in here. And the nice thing, if you guys don't know this, is on the side of most of them, it'll tell you how much is left in the thing. So this one, we still got about 3 quarts left.
Reminder to dislike this video because it's about JDM, so I know that you people don't like the JDM.
So we got just about 4 quarts in there right now. I think I'm gonna do just a little bit more and then stop, because we don't want to overfill it, but we also don't want to underfill it. And we'll take it for a drive after we put the coolant in it too, and then see how both levels are doing and put more in it if we need to. So we're putting the old coolant, well, it's pretty much like 90% water, but we're getting rid of it and then putting the Pento Frost in there. This stuff right here. Now normally you would put your old oil back into this if this was empty, or put it somewhere and then you bring your old oil somewhere else, because it's illegal to just like dump this somewhere. So we're gonna do that too, but they just get rid of it because you're not just supposed to dump oil down a drain or something, but because this one still has a little bit in it, we're not gonna put it in there. And plus we didn't have anything to really drain it into because he doesn't have anything at his house. So that's the reasoning why it's in a plastic tub and not somewhere else. So don't worry, we're getting rid of it properly. So now we're gonna fill it up with coolant. And I probably should be wearing 2 gloves because my other hand is absolutely filthy too. But you know, that's okay. Damn it. I'm embarrassing myself.
Are you editing this
Stop. Yes, just stop recording. One thing you want to be careful of when you do fill up oil or coolant and you have these little whatever they're called, this foil thing, when you do press it in, you want to make sure that none falls off and gets into the container here, because then you might pour it into your engine. So when you do fill up coolant, you want to be careful because there's always a high and low marker on the tank that'll tell you where to stop. Yeah, so the F right here is about right here. So we don't want to go up into this area because that's just going to be too much. Oh shit, it's about to go on that divot right there. I think I got it high enough. So this car is absolutely filthy. It also needs a good wax and polish. It's probably going to be hard to tell on the camera, but the paint is not smooth at all. It's not giving a clear reflection, so it needs to be waxed. But I mean, the paint itself is in good condition. It just needs a good wash. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So we just finished washing it, and because of the time of the day, the sun's almost setting, it's like impossible to get a good wash on it. So now we're just putting a quick coat of wax on it. So this video has not really been about the title too much. We really just did the oil change and coolant. But just to give a recap of what happened, he bought this car, the guy cleared all the codes, and then he drove it home and everything popped back up. So the code that came up says to replace the hybrid battery. So that's a very expensive job unless we can find a cheaper way to do it. And then last night I cleared that code for him, and it's probably been driven like 5 miles since. It hasn't come back on, but I mean, it will come back on. So now we've got the oil in the back seat with Willie, and he's got to hold it while we drive like 2 or 3 miles to AutoZone. This is gonna be pretty funny. I mean, but if Josh does anything stupid, it spills on his car, so.
True.
He spilled some on the
Alright,
seat.
I would like stretch that towel over more.
Yeah.
It's just like a couple drops got on the seat though. So now we're at AutoZone, so now we gotta take the oil into them and see if they'll get rid of it for us, because quite frankly, I don't know if we can really drive much more with it in a tub like this. And now we're gonna check to see the oil level. Hopefully it's normal. Oh yep, there we go. Right, oh, I poured it down a little bit, but it was right in the middle, so it's right where it should be, thankfully, which means he doesn't have an oil leak. Coolant level is still good, so no coolant leaks. So I think we're good. We're probably just gonna go get some food and then call it a night. We did a temporary wax job too, which needs a little bit more work. We need to do an actual wax on it, but for now it's good, so. Getting food at Chipotle, because that's the only good restaurant here, right?
Chipotle.
Yep. Nothing beats some Chipotle.
And the sun's going down, which means that using a GoPro is completely useless because the video at night is absolutely terrible. You go to Chipotle, you always have to do the famous shake-up. Get all the ingredients mixed around. He's an animal.
I have full sleeves of tattoos.
Probably not the best. One really cool feature about this thing is that little screen right there by the speedometer. It shows what's powering the car right now. So right now we're just in like all electric mode because we're going super slow through the parking lot. But then the engine will kick on and it'll show the arrows going towards the wheels from the engine, which is so cool. Let's see if we have any codes here. Yeah, we're all good right now. So hopefully nothing will come back on, but honestly, I fully expect the light to come back on. But for now it's good. So hopefully it'll stay that way. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap up this video. Tried to add some more stuff into it, maybe to make it more like a vlog, make it more interesting. Let me know if you enjoyed that stuff, if you'd like to see more stuff like that in the future. Hopefully this car will be good for him. It's actually really nice for the price he got it for and the condition it's in. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see y'all next video.
Where do I go?